Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, namo budaya, salam kebajikan, and good evening to everyone untuk teman-teman komunitas Teman Bicara, and welcome to kelas Sinergi dengan tema hari ini, Strategies to Hone Your English Speaking Skills. Sebelum kita lanjut, salam kenal. Nama saya Johanna yang akan menemani teman-teman nih untuk kelas kita yang seru hari ini. Buat teman-teman yang mungkin baru pertama kali ikut kelas Sinergi adalah inisiatif online sharing session ya teman-teman dari komunitas Teman Bicara yang bertujuan untuk saling berbagi ilmu dan juga berbagi pengalaman di berbagai bidang dari public speaking, marketing, teknologi, dan macam-macam deh pokoknya. Di sini kita bukan hanya belajar, tapi juga berbagi dan saling memberi inspirasi. Jadi aku harap teman-teman hari ini bakal bisa membawa sesuatu pulang dan juga sharing ya dengan teman-teman semuanya. Oh iya, hari ini kita akan belajar sama-sama nih teman-teman, cara untuk bisa improve bahasa Inggris kita. Omong-omong soal sharing cara untuk bisa improve bahasa Inggris kita, aku mau tahu dulu nih mungkin sebelum kita mulai. Teman-teman di sini yang join, kira-kira apa sih triggernya atau apa sih alasan kalian pengen bisa belajar bahasa Inggris? Mungkin bisa dijawab di kolom komentar ya, teman-teman. Kalau aku pribadi sih, aku tuh emang suka banget bisa berbahasa Inggris karena aku suka membaca buku dan aku juga suka nonton film. Mungkin kalau teman-teman di sini, oh mungkin ada yang bisa untuk pelajaran ya, ada juga yang ingin exchange mungkin ke luar negeri. Kayaknya sih seru banget ya. Oh ya teman-teman jangan lupa nih untuk yang belum follow, yuk segera kunjungi dan juga follow akun Instagram Sinergi Bicara dan juga komunitas Teman Bicara dengan @sinergibicara dan @komunitas Teman Bicara. Nanti di situ bakalan banyak info kelas-kelas menarik lainnya loh teman-teman yang akan sayang ya pastinya nih untuk kita lewatin. Oh nih dari Median ada bilang biar ngomongnya lancar. Oh, ada juga yang bilang aku biasanya suka baca buku, suka baca bahasa Inggris tapi kalau speaking masih malu-malu. Sama sih jujur. I also really like reading English, but sometimes when actually speak to people in real life, ketika aku suka baca dan ngomong bahasa Inggris, tapi ketika aku bicara sama orang di dunia nyata pakai bahasa Inggris tiba-tiba ciut banget. Oh, ada juga nih. Tapi nggak apa-apa, malu-malu. Hari ini kan kita juga semuanya bakal sama-sama belajar. Oh iya, sebelum kita mulai, boleh dong nih kita kenalan dulu nih dengan partisipan yang hadir hari ini. Kalau memungkinkan, mungkin kita bisa on cam sebentar ya, biar kita bisa saling sama-sama lihat nih satu sama lain. Kita tunggu sebentar teman-teman kita untuk on cam. Oh ini ada juga nih Mbak Hasna bilang, pengen banget bisa lancar ngomong bahasa Inggris. Oh, it's okay, kita semua bakal belajar nih. We all start somewhere. Kita semua mulai dari awal, dari suatu titik. Oh ya teman-teman, mungkin untuk yang belum mute mic kalian, mungkin bisa di mute dulu ya, agar kita kelasnya mungkin bisa lebih lancar untuk didengar dengan teman-teman yang lain. Nah, melihat ini udah lumayan banyak ya teman-teman yang on cam, mungkin aku juga pengen ngingetin untuk jangan lupa ya bagi yang belum isi form untuk daftar hadir yang sudah dibagikan admin kami, silakan diisi dulu nih biar nanti kita bisa sama-sama dapat e-certificate yang keren nih. Nih udah dikirim oleh Mbak Dayen. Oke teman-teman, karena udah pada on cam tanpa berlama-lama, mungkin kita kenalan dulu ya sama pembicara kita hari ini. Untuk Mas Surja. Halo Mas, selamat malam. Apa
Halo,
kabarnya?
malam, good evening, Miss Johanna.
Good evening.
Wow, I am so excited to be here, Miss.
Oh, yeah,
But
I'm excited
excited,
to be here too.
excited means two things actually. First
Ooh.
is so happy. Second one is so nervous. I'm the latter. Why? Because
Me, on
I
the other
thought that
hand,
the
I
number
feel
of the
both those
participants
things.
around 20, but it turns out that there are more than 50.
Yeah, I know. It looks like everyone is very excited to learn English with you, Miss Mas Surya hari ini.
Wow, yeah, I'm excited to then. All right.
Alright, untuk teman-teman yang belum kenal mungkin sama Mas Surya, tak kenal maka tak sayang. Jadi Mas Surya ini dengan nama panjang Mas Surja Wahjudianto, ini merupakan seorang English tutor dan juga public speaking trainer nih teman-teman.
Yes, Miss.
Mungkin dari Mas Surya sendiri bisa cerita sedikit nih, apa sih yang bikin Mas Surya pengen sharing nih sama teman-teman kita hari ini di kelas Strategies to Hone Your English Speaking Skills?
Iya, thank you, Miss. Karena ini ya, kebanyakan kita ini kan belajar bahasa Inggris, terus
Mhm.
struggle ketika harus berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris. Kita belajar di sekolah udah lama, kita belajar di kampus malah ya udah lama. Tapi
Hmm.
ketika harus disuruh ngomong, ini kan tadi banyak yang sharing di kolom chat ya, ternyata
Iya.
masih malu-malu, masih takut, masih nervous dan segala macam. Itu yang sering kita jumpai itu. Makanya ini kita yang mau perbaiki, kita mau berikan tipsnya atau strateginya untuk bisa speak English dengan confident gitu, Miss Yohana.
I see. Thank you so much. Terima kasih Mas Surya sudah berkenan untuk berbagi ilmu bersama teman-teman bicara kita hari ini ya. Oke, baiklah tanpa kita mungkin berlama-lama lagi, mungkin kita bisa simak bareng nih langsung materinya. Untuk Mas Surya, saya silahkan.
Okay, Miss Yohana, thank you very much for the very interesting introduction. Okay, good evening, everyone. It's Miss Surya Wahjudianto. Now, if you look at my name, Surya Wahjudianto, yeah, the spelling is Surja Wahjudianto. Uh, where do you think I come from? Yeah, please type the answer on the chat box. Just guess, make a guess. My name is Surya Wahjudianto, but the spelling is Surja Wahjudianto. This is an old spelling because this is an old product, yeah, no longer produced. So where do you think I come from? From Surabaya, from Java, yeah, from Java, Jakarta, let me see. Java, okay. Which part of Java, yeah? From Tangerang, from Java. Okay, I'm from Java, but which part? Okay, no correct answer. No correct answer from Central Java, Blitar. What else? No correct answer yet. Okay, Yogyakarta, not yet. Jogja, no, not yet. Ambon, no. Kediri, no. Yeah, Solo, not yet. Yeah, I live in Surabaya, but where I come from? Yeah, I don't come from Surabaya. Okay, okay. Pare, no. No, I give you the clue. I give you the clue. I come from the town that starts with the letter M. Look first. I come from the town that starts with the letter M. Malang, not yet. And M, Mama. Makassar. Okay, no correct answer. Okay, let me reveal the answer. The answer is I come from Bangil. Anybody knows what Bangil is? Yeah, Miss Ina Bangil. Yeah. Yeah, Bangil, right? Because we call Bandung, Bandung, Bali, Bali. Yeah, I come from Bangil. Yeah. So for those who don't know where Bangil is around 55 kilometers southeast of Surabaya. Yeah, I come from that town. Now I live in Surabaya with my family, my daughter, and my only daughter and my only wife. Of course, my only wife. Yeah. Now, everyone, I'd like to share with you, as you know, the strategies to hone your speaking skills. Yeah. By the way, what is the meaning of hone here? Anybody can help? What is the meaning of hone? I think this, okay, Miss Citra, Miss Ani, mengasah. Okay, that's right, yeah. Hone is mengasah, yeah. Sharpen blades, sharpen knives, something like that, yeah. But when it comes to speaking, it means that we improve, or we level up, or brush up on the skills, speaking skills. Now, allow me to share the screen, the slides. Yeah, this is my name. I come from Bangil. Yeah. Now, please, because this is something that you will pick up for improving your skills, please participate actively because there's some exercises or practice that we will do all. Yeah. So please, I hope that everyone will raise their hand whenever I give the opportunity to everyone to practice. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you still remember Bill Clinton? Anybody knows who's Bill Clinton? Please respond to the chat box. Who's Bill Clinton? Anybody still remembers Bill Clinton? Who's Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton. Miss Fini, US President. Okay, yeah. Bill Clinton was the former president of the United States. Yeah. And who's his wife? What is his wife's name? Do you know? Who? Who's Bill Clinton's wife? Hillary, Mr. Divki, yeah. Mrs. Clinton, of course. Yeah, Miss Hillary Clinton. Mrs. Hillary Clinton, that's right. Now, many years ago, when Bill Clinton was still the president of the United States, the president of China was planning to welcome Bill Clinton's visit to China. But because he could not speak English, he hired an English teacher to teach him. And so it's not for the president to memorize so many things, so many words. The teacher taught him two sentences, two expressions. How are you? And me too. Yeah, after asking how are you and getting the reply, he had to respond with me too. So he practiced this many times. How are you? Me too. How are you? Me too. Until he was confident that he could do that. I can do this. I can do this. Easy, easy. And the day came. Bill Clinton arrived at the China's presidential palace, and the president of China welcomed and greeted him. But because of his poor pronunciation, instead of asking, how are you? He said, who are you? Oh, of course, Bill Clinton was shocked. How come he doesn't know my name? No, Miss Vinny, not yet. Well, how come he doesn't know my name? He invited me. I'm the president of the United States. And he thought, wow, this man must be joking. So Bill Clinton responded jokingly, I am Hillary's husband. And President of China responded confidently, me too. Okay, now tell me, what can you learn from this story? Yeah, please type the answer on the chat box. If you can, what can you learn from this story? If you can tell the moral of the story, it means you caught the meaning of it. It means you listened attentively and you could understand what I told you earlier. Miss iPhone laughing already. What is the moral of the story? Please tell me. Nobody? Please, what is the moral of the story? Nobody could get the story. All right. Yeah, it is important to learn a foreign language, especially English, because English is a global language. A lot of people in the world, yeah, speak English. Even those in other countries like in Singapore, in India, speak English. Even in Indonesia, a lot of people speak English. That's why it is important to learn a foreign language, especially English. Now, a lot of people want to improve their English, but the problem is a lot of people also struggle to improve their spoken English. Yeah. And they wonder why. Now, after teaching English for so many years and after learning from other people too, I found that improving our fluency comes from these two elements. First one is input, and second one is output. Improve your input, improve your output, and you'll be fluent. Now, the question is, what is input? Input is listening, and output is speaking. When it comes to spoken English, of course, we're talking about spoken English, yeah, speaking English. We're not talking about written English. So we leave reading and writing. We're not talking about that one. Only listening and speaking because we're talking about oral communication. Yeah, so when you increase your input and you increase your output, you'll be fluent. This is why those who study abroad, Indonesians, our friends who study abroad, who live abroad, who work abroad, can pick up the language very quickly because they immerse themselves, they're exposed to the environment where they can pick up the listening, they can speak English every single day. That's why they can learn English very quickly. So what about those who don't have the opportunity to study abroad? Like a lot of us are not like those who have the opportunity because studying abroad, living abroad, working abroad is not for everyone. Not everyone has the opportunity to work abroad. We can actually imitate the situation. We can actually immerse ourselves in an English environment by using technology. You can listen to recordings, you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to the radio, you can watch videos in English, and you can engage in conversations. And for the output, you can speak the same. Yeah? You can engage in conversations, you can give a speech, you can participate in English classes, you can join the community where you can apply your knowledge. When you increase your input, you increase output, it is guaranteed you'll be more fluent than before, right? Now, after understanding this concept that you need to increase your input, you increase your output, there are some states of learners when it comes to the level of input and output. And it is shown in this quadrant called learner's input output quadrant. And it is represented with number 1 in Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, and 4, representing Cartesian system. Those people, well, some people have low input and have low output, which means that they rarely expose themselves to recordings or podcasts or videos in English. And they also rarely produce the language. They rarely practice their English. They rarely speak in English. So when they have to speak English, they struggle. They cannot, maybe a little, maybe they can, but a little, right? Because they rarely exposed to English environment. This is the lowest part. This is the lowest state that we need to live from. And then the next state is those who have low input but high output, which means they rarely listen to podcasts, listen to recordings and watch videos, but they active in speaking. They are confident when they have to speak. Of course, when they speak, they make a lot of grammatical errors, or they use wrong words, or even wrong pronunciation, because the input is very low. Then the next step is quadrant 4, where they have high input, they actively listen to podcasts, they actively listen to recordings and watch videos in English. Yeah, they, they enjoy it so much, but maybe they're too shy to speak, so they rarely speak, they rarely engage in conversations. But when they have to speak, they can produce the correct language. They use correct grammar, they use correct words, they use correct pronunciation. But they speak very little. Uh, and then the last one is quadrant 4. This is the ideal position or the ideal state. The people who have high input and produce high output. This is the one that we need to achieve. We need to be here. Yeah, we have to expose ourselves with a lot of English content every single day. So I need to revise my previous formula for fluency. And in order to be fluent, what you need is high input, not just input, high input, and then plus high output. Yeah, when you do this, and you have high input, you have high output, it is guaranteed it will be fluent in speaking English. Yes. So now, what can we do to have high input? This is the question. Okay, sir, I know that high input is very important and high output is very important, but how can I do that? How can I have a lot of input? Because I don't have the opportunity to study abroad. I don't have the opportunity to going overseas. This is the thing that you can do at home with the things that you already have. Let's reveal one by one how you can have the high input. First thing we need to bear in mind, this is a very important quote we need to remember, that if it does not go in, if it does not go in, then it cannot come out. Then it cannot come out. You can say, for example, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe those who understand this and can usually use this very easy. But those who never learn it and never hear it cannot produce this language because the information is not stored in their mind. Yeah, you can say it doesn't matter because that information is stored in your mind, and then you know the meaning of it, and you know how to apply it in a certain context. So when you are in that situation, and then you want to produce that language, it's easy for you to say that, oh, it doesn't matter, because that information is already stored in your mind. But for those people who never heard of that information, that phrase or that sentence, it doesn't matter, cannot produce that language. Yeah, so it's very easy. So by listening a lot, by watching videos a lot, which it means that you store a lot of information. When you store a lot of information, you can produce a lot of language. You can say a lot of things. For fluency will be guaranteed. Yeah, this is a very important quote we need to bear in mind. If it doesn't go in, then it cannot come out. Now, input is not an input that we can, but it has requirements. So what are the requirements for the input? First, your input has to be comprehensible. What does it mean? It means that this input should be able to, you can understand the content of this input. Let's say you are a beginner in English, and then you watch a video that is for upper intermediate level. Of course, it is difficult for you. You can understand, you cannot understand or comprehend the content of it, and you'll be overwhelmed. When you're overwhelmed, you'll get frustrated. When you get frustrated, you stop watching it. You not get anything from it. And it is important to choose videos that you can comprehend, that you can understand. So you cannot just take or watch or listen videos, podcasts, or recordings of any English, but the things that you can understand, you can comprehend. This is first requirement. And the second requirement is the videos, the podcasts, the recordings should be interesting, because if it is interesting, you can carry on. you can continue watching, you can continue learning or listening. Yeah, it is boring, something that you don't understand, something that is beyond your knowledge, you get bored easily, and then you'll end up stop watching it. Yeah. So this is important to remember. The first requirement is the video or the input should be comprehensible and should be interesting. Now, I'm going to share with you some sources that you can access, and most of the contents are free. First one is BBC Learning English. Yeah, BBC Learning English. Of course, they provide contents that are premium, which means that the people who want to access it have to pay. But there are a lot of contents, a lot of resources that they offer for free, including the six minutes English. This is a very good content that you can access. Yeah, you can copy this, the website, the link, yeah, bbc.co.uk. This is a very good resource for learning and having your input. Yeah, and because the name is British or BBC, this belongs to BBC, British Broadcast Commission. So the English is British English. Yeah. So if you like learning British English, this is for you. And another one is, this is my favorite. I believe all of you know this already, but this one is usually for upper intermediate because there's no categories for this website. TED Talks originally talk about TED. T is technology, E is education, and then D is design. But now there are a lot of topics covered in TED Talks, from medicine, from politics, even economy, things like that. Yeah, a lot of topics you can access. And there are videos that are in American English, there are videos that are British English, because the speakers come from many different countries, not only from those countries, American only, a lot of countries. Yeah, TED Talk is my recommendation. You can access it for free too. And then the next one is also British, yeah, or British Council Learn English. There are resources that are free, there are resources that are premium, which means that you have to pay. But even the free contents are excellent too. And you can access it and you can watch it every single day. It helps your fluency. The next one, also American English, VOA. I believe you're familiar with this one. You can access it. This is the link, learningenglish.voanews.com. And then the next one is also my favorite. If you usually use Spotify to listen to music, at this time you can access the contents for improving your English by listening to podcasts. You just type the account, yeah, account or links, the name, learning English or speaking English or anything, then will pop up and you can access or you can click which one is suitable for you. Yeah, Spotify. This is a great resource for learning English too. And then this also that I like, YouTube provides abundant resources of English learning too. Yeah, one that I like is English with Lucy. Yeah, Lucy provides English learning with categories, some for early learners, some for intermediate levels, some for advanced levels. Yeah, you can watch by accessing this channel, youtube.com English with Lucy. And now the tips on using the video. It is important to remember that if you want to subscribe or you want to use the content, yeah, please choose just one or two channels, especially for YouTube, for example, because there are a lot of resources you can access and they're all good. Yeah. And if you subscribe to a lot of channels, you get confused which one to choose from, which one is good for you. But if you subscribe just one or two channels, so that's enough. And then after maybe 1 week, yeah, or so, and if you think that you've learned enough, you can change to another channel. Yeah. But if you subscribe to a lot of channels, you get confused and you get overwhelmed and you end up doing nothing. Yeah. That is why it is important to subscribe only one to two channels only. And the next one, yeah, make a commitment to spend at least 10 minutes a day. Yeah, 10 minutes is actually enough. Yeah, but it must be consistent. Do it on a daily basis. But if you do it, oh, I can do it for 2 years, 2 hours, not 2 years, 2 hours, but you're not consistent. You do it today, then tomorrow you are too lazy to do that, or you forget that. And then until 1 week, and then you do it again. That's not consistent. That makes the progress very slow. Yeah. Do it only 10 minutes a day, but do it consistently. Yeah. This will guarantee your improvement. And the next one is, it is good if you can make notes. You don't just listen or watch, but make notes. Because notes are the things that you will remember. But if you watch and then forget it, and you'll forget it. Notes are important because when you make notes, you usually pay attention closely to what you are watching or to what you are listening to. Yeah, please make notes. And the next one, better, yeah, if you can retell what you have watched, what you have learned, because retelling means you access your memory that's already stored in your mind. This is good to retain the memory. And whenever you are too busy to do that, yeah, because sometimes we are overwhelmed with our own work at home or at the office, yeah, so we cannot spend some time to watch. You can play the video or the recording in the background, so you can do something else while maybe, especially for mothers, yeah, while you are doing the chores, you doing the laundry, you sweep the floor, you clean the house, you can play the recording, you can play the YouTube videos, you can play the podcast in the background. Even though you're not paying attention to it, but you listen to it, that's enough. Even though, of course, when you watch it with full attention, it is a lot better. But just in case you're too busy to do that, please don't skip or don't miss the activity because you can do that by playing the video in the background. Okay, and that's for the input. Now, what about the output? Yeah, what about the output? I'm going to offer you 3 steps or 3 activities that you can do to help you practice even without a partner. Because speaking, actually, you need a partner because it takes two to tango, they say. But when it comes to practice, you can do it on your own. You can do it at home. Even though it is good, yeah, it is better if you have a partner. But having a partner is not always available. Just in case you don't have a partner, you can do it at home on your own. And these are the things that you can do to increase your output. First one is, I call it 2 unique things or 2 interesting things. I'm going to show you later. The second one is imitation. The third one is storytelling. Okay, now let's begin with the first one. Two interesting things about me. Yeah, you tell the audience, you tell the listeners about two interesting things about you. This is good, and I usually teach in my classes, and it is really helpful to help the participants or the students to speak, especially for public speaking, because this is the basic, it's the foundation of public speaking or presentation. It's very simple. You just tell about interesting thing about you. First one, what, and then explain. Second, what. Second one, what, and then explain. Yeah, I'm going to give you an example, and later, remember, I asked you before to participate actively because this is about acquiring skills. Yeah. Now, the example. First, you mention a little bit about you, a little background about you. And after that, you tell the audience, you tell the listeners about two interesting things about you. First, second, and explain each point. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Surja Wahjudianto, but the spelling is Surja Wahjudianto. I come from a town called Bangil, but currently I live in Surabaya with my family, my wife and my daughter. I'm an English teacher and also a public speaking trainer. Now, I'd like to tell you two interesting things about me. First, I love rujak cingur. Anybody loves rujak cingur and know rujak cingur? Yeah. For those who don't know what rujak cingur is a dish. It's like salad, but the dressing is not uh, mayonnaise, but it's a shrimp paste. It's black, yeah, and it's yummy. And the reason I love rujak cingur is because when I was a kid, my mom always or often gave me rujak cingur either for lunch or for additional meal. That's why now I'm kind of addicted to rujak cingur. So at least every month I have rujak cingur once or twice. And I usually buy rujak cingur at the store near my place, at the food store near my place. And sometimes I order it via online application. That's the first thing which is interesting about me. I love rujak cingur so much. And the second thing which is interesting about me is I don't watch TV. Yeah, because I realized that watching TV is a waste of time. I'd rather use my time to do something else, like preparing my lessons and do reading. That's that is useful for my career and better than watching TV. But of course, sometimes I still watch TV. That's when my daughter or my wife is watching TV and I happen to be around. Of course, I join with them to watch TV. But other than that, I will not watch TV or turn on the television. That's the second thing which is interesting about me. So that's all about two interesting things about me. First, I love rujak cingur. Second, I don't watch TV. Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to invite you to apply this. Yeah, please uh, think about two interesting things about you and then share with us here. And I will tell you later why it is important. Yeah. Any volunteer? This is a great opportunity for you to speak in public. Oh, wow. Yeah, just tell, okay, Miss Johanna, the participants already raised their hands.
Yes, of course. Wow. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can start with Mr. Yahya
Mr.
Baihaki.
Yahya. Okay,
All
Mr. Yahya.
right.
Okay,
So, good evening, everyone. How's life, all of you?
great, Mr.
First, first, I'd like to say thank you for all the KTP team because having this kind of amazing talk tonight, and also it's my greatest honor to have a moment with Mr. Surya, so I can learn many things from you because you've been teaching for so long, right? And also thanks for Miss Johanna for hosting this talk, really amazing. Okay, so first, let me introduce myself. My name is Yahya Bayaki, as you can see on my profile. Everyone calls me Haki. I'm from Mojokerto, where the Majapahit Kingdom is located. So you can come to Mojokerto and see all the beautiful nature of my town. And also tonight, I just want to let you know that I consider myself as a passionate public speaking enthusiast because the fact that when I was high school, I always won a speech contest every year. Because
Wow.
so, yeah, and also because through public speaking, I believe like we can share positive message to other people. And also it is like a great skill to us to sharpen our confidence as well to share our thought to other people. Because sometimes it's not only to share the idea, but I do believe like public speaking is essential for now. And the second one is also I'm also about a private course English teacher. So yeah, tonight I just want to share with Mr. Surya all of the, and I want to ask you. So from what you've stated before, all I can say is every amazing result always start within a single consistent step. So I just want to encourage all of you, no matter where you start, no matter when you start, believe in yourself even though like, you never speak in front of the people that you have something to be proud of, so never afraid to speak in front of the people. That's all about me. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, please give a big round of applause to Mr. Yahya. Yeah, it so happens that Mr. Yahya is an English teacher too, and also public speaking enthusiast, and he won a lot of public speaking contests when he was in high school.
Oh,
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you for coming and for sharing with us. Thank
thank
you.
thank you so much, Mr. Yahya. That was amazing. That was amazing. You speak so beautifully.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And well, it was fluent and he has a
Very.
very good grammar control as well. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
because yes, actually I did a lot of public speaking training also. I share
Mm.
material to other people, but it's my first time to speak in front of the public using English. So I don't wanna waste this time. I just wanna explore myself that I can do better and yeah, I can share with all of you. And I just wanna let other people know that even though like you never done this before, it doesn't mean that you can do this for a better in the future. So that's why.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Yahya. Okay, now who's next? I hope that there are like maybe 10 who has
Yeah, there was like a few people who already raised their
yeah,
hands, but I
previous,
cannot see
yeah,
them anymore.
yes, Miss Joanna. Previously, I saw Miss Hu, yeah, but and now
Oh,
Miss Ina.
look, there is Ine. You may open your mic and start sharing too interesting about yourself.
And
Of course, Miss and Mr. Do you hear my voice?
yeah, you're audible. Uh, can you please turn on the
Do you
camera
hear my
too, so we
voice?
can? Yes, you're audible. We can hear you.
Okay.
Can you please turn on the
Okay.
camera too,
The first
Miss?
I want to, yes.
Yeah, you, ma'am, who is wearing red veil. You go first.
Okay, thank you for the chance. The first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nandia. I am a teacher, and two things that interesting about me is the first, I like teaching because every people is a learner and be a lifelong learner. And the second is I like, sorry, because I remember that one of hadith. from our Prophet Muhammad SAW. The great people is hello.
Yes, please go on. Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you clearly.
Okay, the second interesting part of me is I have some unique voice in my school. I'm famous with cempreng, yeah, but I use that my uses for increase my knowledge and my skill, and then I always be confident when I speak in front of public, and then now I am feel so happy when I have chance for increase my skill. Maybe that's enough, and then sorry for something wrong with it. Thank you.
Okay. Please give a big round of applause to Miss Nandia, who's taken the time to practice. Yeah, it was excellent. Thank you so much, Miss Nandia. And who else? What
Oh, I
about,
think I think there's Miss Ine also raised her hand.
yes,
You may open your mic, Miss Ine.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
yes, go ahead, Miss Ine.
Yeah. I'm sorry for hello?
Yes, yes, you're
Okay.
audible. We can hear you clearly.
Yeah, okay. Thank you everybody. Allow me to introduce myself. My name's Ina and I come from Cimahi, small city from Jawa Barat. Have you ever go to Cimahi?
No, never. I've been
No?
to,
Okay. Too interesting about myself ya tadi ya.
yes,
Uh, I got interesting in playing basketball and swimming, and I love eating some traditional food.
okay.
And I got enthusiastic in also speaking English. And thank you for Mr. Surya for giving insight to us this evening. It's very let's say it's very impressive for us. Thank you, Mr. Surya.
Okay, Miss Ina, thank you so much for participating. Okay, thank you. Now, next, Miss.
Thank you so much, Miss Ine. Next up, we have Miss Nanik Supriyanti. You may open your mic.
You're muted. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity for me. Could you hear my voice, sir?
Yes, it's clear, Miss.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Nani. I live in Tanggulangin. Actually, I was born in Surabaya, but I have been here since 2005, I
Close
think.
to Bangil then, yeah?
Oh yeah, really. It's not more than an hour, I think. Well, I love learning English. It's not only English actually, sir, but other foreign languages. So when I was young, I have some way to increase my English, such as like writing, because since I was kid, I like writing. So I was doing like a pen pal. So I have got 5 pen pal from other countries. The yeah, I made that my way to increase my writing, my written, I mean. And I also like reading a book, especially in English, telling story to my kids in a school with what is it, the intonation of English, of course. Oh yeah, and I would like to ask you something. Which is the better way to speak in English? Starting from the bottom up, I mean from the grammatical, or I mean consideration the grammatical, or doing the up button. I mean, um, what is it? Speak as you can do and ignoring the grammar. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Nani, for participating. Okay, this is something that I need to give feedback, especially for the next participants. It is important to give the marker, yeah, like number one, number two, first, second, yeah. This helps the audience, this help listeners to follow what you're saying. So jumping to the point, yeah, okay, but it does not help the audience to follow, especially when you have to speak for a long time. For a short time will be okay. So number one, I love learning, and then explain. And then remember, the point should be short. If you mention I love learning, blah 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 blah, and too long, so audience will forget. So what is the first point? Yeah. So the point should be short. For point number one is this one, and then mention the point, and the point should be short. And after you explain, yeah, it's actually good if you can repeat the first point. This becomes the transition before you move to the next point. So that was point number one. I love learning. You move to point number two. Point number two is I love storytelling, and then you explain. Uh, no need to say I love to tell stories to my kids whenever uh, before she goes to bed. That's too long. Just say I love storytelling and explain. I usually tell stories to my children before they go to bed and explain that. Yeah, and then before you close, you repeat again. Second thing that is interesting about me is I love storytelling, and then you close the whole point. Those are the things that are interesting about me. First, I love this. Second, I love this. So before you leave, audience will remember about your points. Yes. Okay. Now for the next participant, please do the tips that I shared with you. This is very important, even though this looks simple. Uh, Now, oh, Miss Z. Okay, Miss Z.
Hello, Mr. Surya. I'm sorry I can't open my camera because I'm taking care of my daughter right now. I'm sorry. Okay. Hello everyone. I would like to introduce myself to you. I am originally from Blitar, but now I'm living in Sidoarjo as well, just like Miss Nani before, participant. And here I would like to tell you two interesting things about me. First is I am a person who's very passionate about ESL, English as a second language, and I've been learning and teaching English since 2009. And as Mr. Sri explained on how to hone our English skill is to listen to the English podcast all the time, even though we don't pay attention to it, but we just let the English words floating around in our home. And I do it all the time. And I believe that even though we don't pay attention to that content, but those vocabulary will get into our brain. And when it's needed, when it comes to speaking, it's automatically coming out from my mouth. I experienced that. Okay. And the second one is I am a person who really likes spicy food. So this is about the level of spiciness. And I like food which has a very high level of spiciness. I can eat food which has no chili inside. So I think it's just tasteless. And that is why I've got, disease, we call it typhus. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Is it typhus or typhus in Indonesian? And those are two interesting things about me. So first, I am a very passionate about ESL, and the second one, I really like spicy food. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Miss Z, for your information, Miss Z was the participant of my previous class. And there's one story that's interesting that she shared. Once she studied in Pari Kediri, yeah, and her mentor told her to watch movies for 20 times. Watch movies, the same movies for 20 times. Yes, miss?
Yes,
Until
yes,
remember
yes.
even the dialogues, every single thing. And I agree with, yeah, even though this sounds extreme, but that's the way we increased our input. So imagine you watch movies until 20 times, you remember the dialogues, and you remember the dialogues, eventually you can use that, especially you know the context, you know the meaning, and you can use that in your daily communication. And no wonder Miss Zino is very fluent in speaking English and with the amazing pronunciation as well. Yeah, I think that's because of she watched movies for 20 times for one title, let alone if she has to watch several titles. Okay, thank you. Now, who's next? Oh, we have Miss Finny. Okay, Miss Finny. Go ahead, Miss. You're muted. On mute. You're on mute.
Okay. Can everybody hear my voice?
Yes, you're audible. I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Surya and everybody here.
Yeah.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Vini Wardatur Rosi Rozana. You can call me Vini. Now I'm living in Lumajang, a small kabupaten in East Java, which has the highest peak of Java, Gunung Semeru. And now I will tell two interesting things about me. Number one is I find it hard for me to gain weight when most people are struggling to lose their weight. I am in the opposite. So till this very day, my weight is never above like 44 kilograms. I don't know if it's something sad or I should be thankful about this. And then the second interesting thing about me is I'm passionate in the field of public speaking. My daily task is being MC, voiceover, and I'm currently want to expand my skill in dubbing. So I started to learn to dub or imitate like the voice of fictional characters like Barbie or like characters in Disney movies, the princess things. So yeah, those are my two interesting things about me. Thank you, everyone.
Very nice, Miss Vini, and thank you for sharing about two interesting things about you. Oh, you are from Lumajang, yeah. My sister also lives in Lumajang because she works there in uh, an office, government office in Lumajang. Thank you, everyone. Anybody else would like to try? Because yeah, this I give the
Let's
opportunity
go,
to.
guys. If any of you want to share two interesting things about you, you can start to raise your hand. Kalau ini ada yang
Yes.
mau sharing-sharing dua hal menarik tentang kalian, silakan nih boleh raise your
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for everyone to to practice your English, and second to be confident in speaking in front of public. because yeah, it's not always easy to speak in public. But once you try it, it becomes easier for you the next time you do it. Anybody? There's a lot of people, 58 people, yeah. All right, if no more, then we have to continue. Miss Ray. Oh, great, Miss Ray. Go ahead.
Hello,
Yeah, hello. Good
is my
evening.
sound is stable.
Yeah, you may
Um,
begin. And could you please
can
turn
you
on
hear
the...
me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes, you're audible. I can hear you
Okay,
clearly.
okay. I'm sorry. I cannot turn on my video because it's not. Hello, Mr. Surya. Introduce myself. My name is Rain. I come from Tangerang. Um, I have two interesting about myself. The first one is I love learn something new because every challenge in our life is experience, and experience is makes me to learn and practice to be expert. And the second is I love K-pop songs because I love that language for me to hear. And then also I like Japanese pop. And sometimes if I'm bored, I love the listening to the podcast to learn English videos. And I want to, the problem one is I have to, I cannot to speaking in my grammatical is error sometimes. Thank you.
Miss Ray, give applause to Miss Ray. Thank you so much. Yeah, she loves learning something new, and then she loves K-pop, and then she explains it. Thank you, Miss Ray. Now we have Mr. Tivki who would like to try. Okay, the screen is yours, Mr. Tivki.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, my name is Divki. I live in Surabaya.
Oh,
uh, I am really into two cool things. One is motorcycling and two camping. Motorcycling touring is my favorite adventure. I get to ride my motorcycle on awesome journey. Because when I motorcycling, touring around uh, road, touring around Java, I feel free. I feel freedom. And then second is camping. I love to camping. Camping is my passionate because it's a great outdoor activity, like setting up campfire, uh, sleeping under the, sleeping under the stars, and I feel uh, tranquility. I feel more connect with nature from the uh, busy from busy day in city in town. So that's me. Thank you, Mister.
wonderful, Mr. Tivki. And thank you for sharing about two interesting things about you. Yeah, you love motorcycling. Yeah, and also camping. Then you explained each point. And okay, I give one or two more opportunities, chances for those who want to try before we move to the next part. Anybody? Miss Julia Aslam. Okay, great. Okay, go ahead, Miss Julia.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Surya. Okay, let me to introduce myself. My name is Yulia Aslam. You can call me with Yulia. I'm from Tangerang Selatan. What the unique of myself? Maybe I can share with you that now I'm so interested with the philanthropy life or philanthropy work. Yeah. Now I'm working at some NGO or philanthropy institution for women and children. What the unique is, I can help the women and children. So I'm so blessing for for tonight and for the opportunity. And thank you for the Sinergi Bicara. I hope I'm so nervous. I'm sorry. I'm so nervous. I'm sorry. I want to more practice with English, and hopefully I will increase my skill in English after the webinar. Thank you.
Miss Julia, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, so you work for an NGO that helps women and children. Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Julia Aslam. Maybe one more. Yeah. Once again, this is a very good opportunity for you to practice your English and to speak in public. Yeah, I know this is not easy, but once you do that, it becomes easier for you. And just tell two interesting things about you. And Miss Adelia, wow. Yeah, everyone actually wants to try, yeah, but it seems that they're not sure, yeah. They need to be encouraged first. Great, Miss Adelia, please go ahead. We can't wait to hear your story.
All right, thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to say sorry for not turning on my camera since it's not, I don't know, something weird about my camera.
Never mind, we can understand. All right.
Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Adelia, and I'm from Surabaya. Two things that I interested in are, I'm sorry, two interesting things about me are I love strolling around the city. It's kind of same as traveling. Actually, I just went to two cities in my life until now, but I found it interesting because it contains mixed feeling. When I went to a city by myself, I felt nervous. I felt kind of frightened of nowhere, but at the same time, I found calm and like this feeling when I visited to other places. Yeah, and the second thing One of participants have told this that it's hard for me for gaining weight. I don't know it's kind of a health issues or not, but I tried many times to eat a lot than the normal amount, like maybe 4 until 5 times a day, but it still can't make me, yeah. And my mom keeps pushing me and keeps telling me that I'm being too skinny and all of that. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Adelia. So this is similar to Miss Fini. Miss Fini also find it difficult to gain weight. Yeah, it's such a coincidence. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, Miss Ruri. Okay, go ahead, Miss Ruri. Tell us about two interesting things about you.
Hello, Mr.
Hello,
and
could you
Mrs.
please start?
Johanna. I can open my cam and permission. Hello, sir.
Hello, yes.
Hi.
We hear you.
Yes. Good evening and hello, everyone. I'll introduce myself. My name is Ruri. I live in the city of Makassar, South Sulawesi. My current job is as an housewife. I have 5 children and civil servant who is enthusiastic about the word of voiceover as my branding self in the media social. But firstly, when I found about this class, I was enthusiastic because this was the first class on public speaking in the English version. And if we talk about interesting myself, since I joined the world of government to become a public servant, I thought my work would become narrow because of administrative work. But that's not the case where I work, namely in the prison. I met many human characters who need assistance and guidance, so that demand to be able to communicating well as when providing service to the community as a service ambassador in my office. That I think, and thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Joanna.
Thank you, Miss Ruri.
Yes, you're welcome. And
All right, okay. Now, maybe Miss Ita. Miss Ita, go ahead. You can turn the microphone and the camera as well.
Okay.
Possible?
Good evening, Mr. Okay, good evening, Mr. Surja. First of all, I'm sorry that I can use my camera because it's not working.
Okay. Never
I'm
mind,
sorry.
Miss. We can understand that.
Okay, thank you. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Ita Effendi. I used to be called Ita, and I'm from Ambon, Maluku. Thank you for the opportunities, Mr. Big appreciation for you. Two interesting things about me is I love to communicate with people, but I don't have the confidence enough. And the second thing is I love to traveling. Maybe that's all. Thank you, Mrs. and Mrs. Joanna.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ita. Yeah, my little feedback, actually, each point should be developed by telling more about that, by giving examples, by giving explanation. Yeah, that's the point of this. Just one point, this one and this one done. No, yeah, but explain. So we know well about you. Would you try it again? Oh, enough? Okay, yeah. Thank you, Miss Ita. Now let's go on with the next point. Now allow me to share the screen again. What's so good about it? Why we did something like this? Yeah, actually something easy, something simple. Uh, Doing this can help you to give a long response to a question. Yeah, if you don't have, because there are points. Yeah, one, two. Actually, in a long training, we can ask the participant to tell about three interesting things, so they can uh, develop more about themselves, can share more about themselves. But two is enough. It helps you to give a long response to a question. Yeah, because there's guidance, which are the point one, point two, and each point you explain. And then next one, the points function as a guidance for you. Because if there's no guidance, you will ramble, talk about this, talk about that, and you'll confuse the audience. And this is important, especially when you give a presentation. Because a lot of people talk about, actually, the content of the speech is very good, but because there's no points, there's no guidance, they ramble. They talk about things that are not related to each other, and that confuse the audience and bore the audience. And then point number three, by having these points, your message will be consistent. Yeah. When you have the topic and then you break down the topic into several points, this helps your presentation or your talk will be consistent. Yeah. And because this example, we talk about two interesting things about you, and you may share point number one, point number two. Of course, the points are related to the topic, which is two interesting things about me. Yeah. And the next is by imitation. I believe a lot of people here have ever heard about this technique, which is imitating or copying or parroting native speaker, either from video or podcast or recording. Yeah. Imitating native speakers speak. It involves listening to native speakers and trying to replicate their pronunciation, intonation, and speech patterns. The benefits of doing this, that it improves your accent and pronunciation. And second, it helps you to become more fluent. Yeah, this is the purpose of doing this. Yeah, this is the most important part. It helps you to be more fluent. And it also increases your vocabulary because you hear the native speakers say, and you hear what they say, and vocabulary, the words, the phrases, uh, the sentences, the expressions. So you can imitate that. You can use that in your own speech or in your own talk. Now, how can we do this? Yeah, this is very easy. How to do it? You select a recording of a video that is suitable for you. Remember, earlier I told you that it is important to use the input that is something that you can understand. Yeah. If you don't understand it, it's difficult for you to learn it. Yeah? Select a recording, and this should be something that you can understand, not things that are difficult for you. And then, if it is possible and available, read the transcript first. Read the transcript first. Then after that, listen to the recording. Yeah, you play the recording and then listen to it and pause after several seconds. Yeah, not too long, because if it is too long, you'll forget. Now pause after several seconds and then repeat what the speaker has just said. Yeah. So to make it clearer, I'd like to give you an example. This is another resource that you can access. This is called Rachel's English. And I believe some of you know this already. Yeah, Rachel's English. The link is already here, rachelsenglish.com. Of course, it provides premium contents, which means that you have to pay. But there's also a lot of resources that are free. And the one that I show you here, share with you here, is the one which is free. And this is the way we do the imitation or the parroting. And because it provides the script, so it's easy for me to capture the script. And then the recording is also available. You can just download it and then play it. Let me fast forward. This is the introduction. Sorry. Because the text is available, yeah, I don't keep them, but I make them. I feel like you also don't tell them because I didn't know that you've made new resolutions. Well, maybe then maybe I haven't in the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, but previously you would say you have met them. Like I often have in my adult life. Okay, and as a kid as well? No, I don't think so. I think it was more than maybe mid-20s, mid to mid-30s. How old was I when we met? Geez, I don't know. Great, 30 something. Upper 30s. So okay, you've been making New Year's resolutions. What are you resolving to do? I feel like there have been some common themes for me. Things like exercise on a regular basis or do daily meditation practice. So there are things that you already did, but your goal was for more consistency. Yeah, that's accurate. See, because this is the first time I struggle, but when you do it for the second time or the third time, you'll be more fluent. And from this text, from this recording, you also learn some new words, maybe vocab phrases or expressions that you didn't know before. And then because it is written here and it is said here, so you can learn from it and you know how to apply it in the right context. Yeah, this is the the important, why is it important to do this imitation? And also you learn the pronunciation as well. Like for example, maybe adult. Previously, maybe you say it adult, for example. Yeah. Now you know that it is pronounced adult instead of adult, for example. This is the way we do imitation. And the more you do it, the more fluent you are. And also you do it in a correct pronunciation as well. And actually we have time, we can practice it. I like to invite you to do it, but maybe later if you have time. Now let's move on to the next one, which is, this is my favorite, it is storytelling. Storytelling, you tell stories of your own or other people's stories. Yeah, maybe the ones that is true or fictional, either true story or fictional story. Benefit of using storytelling for improving your fluency is because stories are interesting. Yeah, a lot of people love stories, and I think all people love stories. You read novels because you love stories. You watch movies because you love stories. And you gossip because you love stories. Yeah. So when you use stories for practicing English, it is interesting and you like doing it. And the next one, the next reason is because stories is easier than giving an opinion, for example, or explaining a process or explaining something. Yeah, there's, even though you can do it, but it's a lot harder than telling stories, because telling stories told in a chronological order, after this and then this and then this. Yeah. Before that, I like to do something. I'm going to tell a story. This one is fictional. What I want you to do is to pay attention closely to what I'm saying, because later I'm going to ask you some questions related to this story. Yeah, are you ready? Yeah, the story is about Sheila. Once Sheila went to New York for a holiday, and she met a handsome young man at the park, and she fell in love with him as soon as she saw him. He told her that he was a millionaire. He sent her flowers and gave her a diamond ring. Oh, he loves me so much, and he is so kind and loves me so much. She wrote to her family in England. Then they got married after dating for several months. And he took her to his house in the city. And then they swam in the Pacific Ocean every week and sat on the beach until the sun sank on the horizon. Oh, she felt very happy, except when he went away on business trips. But then one day, the police came to his house and arrested him. They said that he made his money from dishonest business deals. He also had other wives in other houses. It broke her heart. She drove to the airport and flew back to England. Poor Sheila. Now I'm going to tell you the story once again, but this time a bit faster because you've heard it already. Sheila went to New York for a holiday. She met a handsome young man at the park. She fell in love with him as soon as she saw him. And he told Sheila that he was a millionaire. He sent her flowers and gave her a diamond ring. He's so kind and loves me so much. Sheila wrote to her family in England. Then they got married after dating for several months. Then the husband took her to the city, took her to his house in the city. And they swam in the Pacific Ocean every week and sat on the beach until the sun sank on the horizon. She felt very happy, except when he went away on business trips. Then one day, the police came to his house and arrested him. They said that he made his money from dishonest business deals. He also had other wives in other houses. It broke her heart. She drove to the airport and flew back to England. Now I'm going to tell the story once again, but this time I'm going to skip some of the words, and it's your job to guess what the words are. For example, yeah, please type the answer on the chat box. Sheila beep to New York for a holiday. What is the beep sound? Sheila beep to New York for a holiday. What is the answer? Sheila beep to New York for a holiday. Ah, that's right. Yeah, Sheila went to New York for a holiday. That's very good, Miss Ina, Mr. Ancha, Mr. Yahya. Okay, Sheila went to New York for a holiday. Next. And she beat a handsome young man at the park. Okay, that's very good. You remember very well. Yeah, you have a very good memory. Yeah. She met a handsome young man at the park. She beat in love with him. She beat in love with him. Oh, that's good. Yeah, Miss Bini, Mr. Yahya. It's correct spelling. Yeah. Wow, that's good, Miss Z, Miss Yahya, Mr. Yahya. Who else? She fell in love with him as soon as she beat him. She fell in love with him as soon as she beat him. Okay, so that's very good. Yeah, she saw him. He beat her that he was a millionaire. He beat her. Okay, that's very good. He told her that he was a millionaire, and he beat her flowers every day. Okay, yes. Oh, not brought, but he sent her. He gave her, sent her flower and gave her a diamond ring. Yeah, and he is so kind and loves me so much. She beat her family in England. She beat her family in. She wrote to her family in England, and then they be married after dating for months. She got not several, Miss Rani. Yeah? She got married after dating for several months. Yeah, and he beat her to his house in the city. He beat her to his house in the city. That's not what I said. She took her to his house in the city, and then they beat in the Pacific Ocean every week. Swam, that's very good. And beep on the beach, and beep on the beach, not walked. Sat on the beach until the sun beep on the horizon. That's very good, yeah. Okay, then until the sun sank on the horizon. Well, she beep very happy. Was multicolor, but that's not what I said. She felt very happy, except when he beat away on business trips. She went away on business trips. Then one day, the police beat to his house. The police beat to his house. The police came to his house and beat him and arrested him. Yeah, they said that he beat his money from dishonest business deals. God, maybe that's not what I said. He made his money from dishonest business deals. He also beat other wives in other houses. Had other wives in other houses. That's right. Not have, but had. Yeah. He had other wives in other houses. It beat her heart. It beat her heart. It broke her heart. Yeah. Then she beat to the airport. She beat to the airport, drove. Yeah, she drove to the airport and be back to England. Very good. Flew back to England. Beat Sheila. Okay. Poor Sheila. That's very nice. Thank you for your participation. And okay, I'm impressed with the answers. You're so good, yeah, at remembering things. Yeah, you have very good memory. Uh, okay, I think because our time, yeah, I think we have to finish this. Actually, I will ask you to uh, tell your story. Yeah, Miss Joanna, is it time for what is it?
Yeah, it's almost time for the Q&A. And I'm sure our friends here all have like very various questions for Surya. But before that, are we going to do a storytelling session?
Okay, yeah. After I give the example, maybe I like to invite people who like to tell their stories.
Okay.
Yes. So anybody would like to tell stories? This again a very good opportunity for you to practice your English. Yeah, tell stories about yourself. Yeah, or about other people. Yeah. Okay, before you begin, I like to tell you one of my stories. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of stories just like you. Many years ago, when I was teaching at this English course, one evening when I was alone in the teacher's room. Yeah, yes, around 6 or 6:30, and everybody, all of my colleagues was teaching. Native speaker teachers and local teachers, they were all teaching. I was alone in the teacher's room, and suddenly a teacher from Australia uh, came to the teacher's room and approached me. Hey, Surya, what is the difference between will and going to? What? I was shocked. A native speaker teacher asked me that question, and I happened to know the answer. I explained to him confidently. All right. Let's say his name is John. Yeah. Okay, John. Will is used for an activity or event that is spontaneous. Yeah. And then going to is used for an activity which is planned. Yeah. Yeah. For example, when you hear knocks on the door, knock, 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 then you say, I'll open the door, right? Not I'm going to open the door, right? I'll open the door because the decision is spontaneous, not planned. Or when you hear the telephone ringing, ring, 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 you say, I'll answer the phone, not I'm going to answer the phone. And when going to is used for an activity that is planned, let's say when you're holding a racket and wearing a sportswear, so you can say that I'm going to play tennis. No, I will play tennis, right? Or when your mother is wearing an apron and opening the fridge and taking things from the fridge, and you say that, oh, my mom is going to cook. Not my mom is, my mom will cook. Yeah, that's this story is the one that I often tell my students about. Yeah, sometimes even native speaker teachers do not know about grammar. So don't worry about making mistakes in speaking English, even though, of course, it is better if you speak correctly. But while you're learning, while you're improving, just don't be afraid to make mistakes. I'm a teacher. I made a lot of mistakes too. So don't worry. Yeah, that's a little piece of my story. I'd like to invite you to tell yours. Once again, storytelling is interesting and storytelling is easy to tell rather than giving opinions or sharing about the process or things like that. Yeah. So please, I'd like to hear your story. Again, this is a good opportunity for you to practice your English. Once you do this, later it'll be easier for you to do it again. Please raise your hands before time is up. Yeah, because Miss Johanna is strict about the time. Yeah.
Okay, let's go, guys. If any of you want to share your story, you can raise your hand. Remember, every opportunity to practice must be sealed. We have 2 slots for those of you who wants to share your story to be shared with the rest of the class. Jadi untuk yang mau sharing-sharing story, mau coba praktis pakai bahasa Inggris untuk sharing story-nya, silakan boleh langsung untuk raise hand ya, karena kita di sini punya 2 slot loh buat teman-teman yang mau bagi-bagi story-nya sama kelas ini nih.
Yes. Can hear silence.
Yeah, looking at the practice session before this, it seems like we need a little push. Somebody must go first. So who wanna go first? To open the path for every other friends here.
We need sukarelawan and sukarelawati. If there's no sukarelawan, there must be paksawan and paksawati. Our audience here loves games, yeah, it seems, yeah, but not storytelling. Maybe yeah, sometimes speaking in public is, yeah, a bit challenging.
Yeah.
It takes some time for them to summon the courage to finally open the camera and speak.
True. Okay, if people here are still contemplating whether or not they want to tell their story, is it okay, Mas Surya, if I tell my story as the paksawan?
Yeah, we can't wait to. Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mas Surya, for the opportunities. So this is actually a little bit embarrassing. So in class back in 2019, when I was still a second year of a high schooler student, I used to be a little bit naughty, and I sat right in front of the teacher's table. My friends was giving a presentation. The clock was ticking. It was almost time to go home, and I was feeling extremely tired and extremely bored. And I remember a story that I read on a comic book. So what I did was I cut out a piece of paper and I draw an eye on it. And because I use an eyeglasses, I stick those eyes to my eyeglasses to pretend that I'm awake while my friend are presenting, even though I was actually sleeping. It sounds like a tight plan because my teacher was a bit inattentive and my friends were busy giving their presentation. No eyes were on me, all eyes were in front of the class. So I slept and I just lay there And I don't know how much time has passed by until I start hearing a little bit of a ruckus. I open my eye, and everybody on the class were staring at me with their phones out, including my teacher. Apparently, 15 minutes into me sleeping with a fake eye on, my plan has been caught. But the teacher doesn't want to wake me up. The teacher decided that this is going to be a fun lesson for me for next time. So everyone was just watching me sleeping with a fake eye for 5 minutes. That's my story. Yeah. Oh my God. Indeed.
I don't know whether we should applaud this or we should feel sorry. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine how embarrassed you felt at that time. But something embarrassing in the past can be a memorable story for even for our children later or grandchildren. You can tell your grandchildren, your children later, Miss Johanna.
True. That's true. The hikmahnya adalah sekarang aku bisa ceritakan di kelas Sinergi Bicara.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And your friends recorded when you were sleeping?
Yeah, and they still tag it. They still post it on Instagram like once a year while tagging me. They're like, "Remember this?
Becomes a
Remember
ritual
this?"
then, yeah? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Thank you, Miss Yona. That's
you're
yeah,
welcome.
hilarious, yeah, now. But yeah, at that time, I am sure that you felt really embarrassed. Yeah, see, everyone, it's easy to tell a story because you know it very well, especially if it is your own story, and you tell the story in a chronological order. After this, and this, and this. It is easier than telling or giving an opinion or telling about a process or a, a, a statement or something like that. Yeah. So, anybody would like to?
Who's gonna go next? Just raise your hand. It's okay. As you see, I just embarrassed myself, and apparently everyone thought it was funny. So no need to be shy.
Yeah. I can't believe that you are that naughty. Have you ever been punished?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you ever been punished by your teacher?
Um,
You can't
uh,
remember because there's a lot.
the formal non-bad influencing answer is no. Of course not. I was a very nice, good student. The real answer is maybe a little bit more than I'm proud of.
All right, guys, friends, please tell your stories. Once again, this is a very good opportunity for you to practice your English. Yeah, and to practice speaking in front of other people. everyone, we are waiting for your next story.
Oke, sepertinya ini teman-teman masih pada malu-malu kucing ya, Mas Surya.
Okay, yes. Okay, if no more, maybe I can give you a story. Yeah, raise your hand if you would like to tell a story. But this is based on my notes. Yeah, and I'll give you through the chat box, and then you read the story, and later you can share the story with us here. So, who would like to try? This is not your own story, but I'm going to give you the story. This is fictional. Yeah, there's a twist at the end of the story, and later you can share the story with us. Very short story. Anybody would like to try?
Oh, okay. So Mas Surya here will share a story that people can use as a pronunciation or speaking
Yes.
fast, right?
Yes. Who would like to try? Miss Z. Okay. Yeah, Miss. Yeah, I'm going to send the story to Miss Z directly. And how to send it?
Oh, here Kak Pini said that she doesn't really get the rules. So I think that what you guys need to do is you just raise your hand and then Mas Surya will give a story for you to speak on or tell, right, Mas?
Yes, that's right, Miss Johanna.
Yeah,
I'm preparing the story and
I see. Okay, it looks like Kak Pini got it now.
okay, Missy, I've sent the file to you and then please read it and then share the story with us. Okay, when you're ready, please say that you're ready and I give you the time to share the story with us.
So I read the story or retell the story?
You retell the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give me some minutes.
And use your own words.
The suspense.
Okay, I'm ready, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead, Miss.
Okay, so there was an accident on the street. At that time, many people surrounded the victims, included some of the newspaper reporters. And one of that reporter wanted to take picture of the victim, but he got difficulty in passing the crowd, and he got an idea to pass the crowd by pretending the father of the victim. And then he said, give me away, I'm a father of the victim. And once once that reporter find that victim, he felt so embarrassed because the victim was a goat. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, that's the twist. Yeah, the victim was not a human, but the reporter said, "I was the father of the. I'm the father. I'm the victim's father. I'm the victim's father. Yeah, give me away, give me away." When he could get close to the to see the victim, it turns out that the victim was actually a goat. Thank you, Missy. Okay, I think that's all for the storytelling, yeah, because we have to turn to the next session, which is Q&A, if there's some questions. And it means that I will ask the question and you will answer the questions, right?
All right, thank you so much to Mas Surya. Big shout out for presenting the topic in such an easy to understand manner and very interactive. Yeah, it was fun hearing everyone was excited to raise their hand, especially when they were telling two things that were interesting about themselves. If it doesn't go in, it cannot come out. And if we can be consistent, we can be fluent, right? Everyone, right, Mas Surya? Okay. I'm sure our friends that are tuning in gains a lot of insights. Now, as we move forward, we are diving into the Q&A session. So, for those who'd like to ask questions directly, including Mas Surya, who said that he would like to ask questions to the audience, please use the raise hand feature. And for our more reserved friend, you are more than welcome to drop your questions in the Zoom chat. Jadi kalau masih malu-malu kucing, boleh juga tanya di chat. So we are going to collect 3 questions each before we answer for as long as the time let us. So let's keep this interactive and engaging and use this chance to learn more and ask Mas Surya, guys. Okay, here we have Kak Z. Kak Z, you may open your mic and ask your questions.
Okay, thank you, the host, for giving me the chance. As I remember that Mr. Surya said that we need to use a comprehensible resource when we need to get some inputs to hone our English skill. If we are beginners, so it's not good for you to have some intermediate or some advanced resources. And my question is, so when is the right time for us to level up our English? Because if we think that we are just in the beginner level and then we want to level up our English skill, sometimes I need a higher level of resources. And that's what I'm doing now. Sometimes, yeah, I'm overwhelmed, but it's also challenging for me. So what do you think about it, Mr. Surya? When is the right time for us to level up our English skill by having higher level resources? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Kak Z. Let's collect the questions first, and let's move on to the next interviewer of the day, Mas Yahya Baihaki. You may open your mic and ask your questions.
Okay, so I would like to ask Mr. Surya because He's an experienced teacher in this English industry. So when it comes to English speaking, I think it's habitual, not an overnight we can really speak with other people. But of course, it takes a lot to us to get involved. But I just want to ask you, is there something tips or trick to engage our student? Because I see that the role of education is not only empower our student to answer the question or pass the test or even understanding the material. It also helps our students to be able to apply all the skill in their daily life. But sometimes it's hard to engage our student or to take them to be able to speak. So, is there any solution or tips that should we apply that we can uplift our student motivation to be able to speak? That's all I want to ask. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mas Yahya. Before we answer the question, does anybody else want to ask? From the chat box, raise your hand. It's all good. Okay, I think we are going to answer two questions first with Mas Surya. So the first question is from Kak Z. When is the right time to level up with higher resources? Mas Surya, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Johanna, and thank you, Missy, for the question. Yeah. Because what I'm sharing here is about doing these things on our own at home. So it's you who can feel it. And there's a rule for this, whether your material is too high for you or it is too low for you. There's a formula. It says I plus 1. I is your current level, and plus 1 is a little bit higher than your current level. Why should be high, a little bit high for your level? But once again, it shouldn't be too high, but a little higher, because it's a little higher. This is the area of your learning, not the same level as your current level, or even lower than your current level. Yeah, and the experts say that it's around 70% of the material, you should understand it. It should be comprehensible. And 30% is the one for your learning. Yeah, so 70% is the one that you can understand, vocabulary, phrases, everything, even the context or the content. And the 30%, maybe there's expressions or words that you don't know. That's suitable for you to learn. And that should be a challenge for you, not the one that is easy for you. Is everything easy, so you not learn anything. Yeah, so the formula is I plus 1. And the percentage is around 70% or 80%. And the rest is something that you don't know. And that's the area for your learning. And who can feel it? It's yourself who can feel it. Oh, this is suitable for me. There are some words I don't know. Oh, okay, this is the right one. But most of the content you still can understand it, which means that it is comprehensible. Yeah, that's all. That's my response. Easy. And for the second answer, second question, it's about giving motivation to our students to speak. Yeah, for your information, I've never taught. I've taught at school, but most of the time I taught at English courses. So the environment is a bit different. Yeah, in English courses, it's easy to motivate the student to speak just because they come there to learn English. Yeah, a different situation. But students in the school, they go to school, yeah, because they have to. So, and I often have the same questions, especially when I give like a training in schools, and the teachers ask me this question. And in English courses, the way we motivate the students to speak is by doing a lot of games like the one that I gave you, either for control practice or freer practice. Yeah, learn to learn to hold games, how to play games in the classroom. And when they enjoy the activity, they will participate. But if they find it difficult, so they will not participate. I think the fun must be included in the activity. That's the way we motivate the students, Mr. Yahya. But I cannot specify what kind of activities that we can hold. We need to discuss further about this one. Yeah, but yeah, in general, that's what I suggest you do. The activity should be fun, and it involves activities that encourage them to speak. Something like that, Mr. Yahya. I hope that answers your question.
I see. Okay, thank you so much, Mas Surya. So the first question, when is the right time to level up with higher resources with the I+1? How is it, Kak Z? Does it answer your questions?
Yes, very clear.
All right, thank you. And then the second question is there tips and tricks to engage our students with games and practices and learn to hold and play the games with the fun that are included? Does it answer your question, Mas Yahya?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. So, Mas Surya, we actually have one more question here from Kak Fini on the chat box. She asked, when we are talking about the level of language skill, we know there are three stages: basic, intermediate, and advanced. Her question is there any clear indicators to decide whether we are in basic, intermediate, or advanced, apart from test score, like TOEFL?
Yes, English courses apply this when they invite admission for the new students. Yeah, they apply a test called placement test. And you take this placement test, so it's easy to decide whether you are a basic, or you are intermediate, or advanced. And this test includes written tests and then also interview and listening test. So it's very easy to decide whether you are in which level you are. Yeah, so it's called placement test. You don't have to take the TOEFL or IELTS. No, this placement test is easier than TOEFL. It takes only several, like maybe 30 minutes. Unlike IELTS or TOEFL, that takes longer, a lot longer. A placement test is shorter, and it's usually effective to know your level. And English courses apply this. That's my answer, Miss Johanna.
Okay, thank you, Mas Surya. So
Yeah.
for Kak Fini's question on how to decide whether we are in basic, intermediate, or advanced, we can take tests that are not TOEFL, but placement tests to be exact, which are much simpler, right, Mas Surya?
That's right, Miss Johanna.
Yeah. Does it answer your question, Kak Fini? Or is there anything else you want to clear up? Okay, thank you. Okay, does anybody else here want to ask a question before I do? Because I actually have like 2, 3, 5, 10. But I'll stick to a few. Okay, while we wait for the other to ask questions, may I ask you a question, Mas Surya?
Sure, Miss Johanna.
Okay, so I was actually wondering, from your experience, what are the most common misconceptions people have about learning how to speak English or learning English in general?
Yeah, this is simple actually, and that because that happened to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I started learning English and I became interested in English because I learned grammar and I enjoyed so much. Yeah, that's I felt that I improved a lot in terms of grammar because I did a lot of grammar exercises. I have the book and I did that questions, exercises, and I felt that I improved a lot because of that exercises. But then I realized that my speaking skills did improve. And many years ago, I failed in an interview sessions because of my English, even though I knew a lot of grammar rules. Yeah, I failed in interview sessions in my dream company because of this uh, misconception. I thought that by learning grammar, you can improve your speaking skills. That's what I realize now, something wrong. So in order to be fluent in English, yeah, you have to have a lot of input and output. You practice a lot and you listen a lot. You watch a lot of movies, videos in English, listen to podcasts, listen to recordings. That's the biggest misconception that uh, people usually have when it comes to speaking English fluently, Miss Johanna.
I see. So the answer is people sometimes think that we have to really master the grammars, but actually we just really need to practice, practice, and practice. Yeah, I honestly agree with it. Thank you so much, Mas Surya. Does anybody else here want to ask any question to Mas Surya? This is your chance. Don't miss it. Maybe you guys also have English classes in your university or back in school when you're still in school, but you're too shy to ask. Well, there's only all of us here, so this is your chance to ask the questions that you were too shy to ask. Untuk yang malu-malu kucing juga boleh ya, sekali lagi untuk pakai chat box untuk bertanya seperti kayak Kak Vini tadi. Ini Kak Z bilang, sometimes we just need to be nekat. That is very true.
That's right. That's right.
That is very real. So if nobody here want to ask any questions, Mas Surya, do you have any questions for the audience?
I have a question for you, Miss.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, tell us, how did you pick up your language? How did you get your English?
That's actually kind of a complicated questions because I did went to a quote unquote bilingual middle school, but I guess because we were all pretty naughty there at the middle school, so we barely used the bilingual day that they really want us to use at the time. Uh, but they did provide a pretty naughty again, Kak Z said. No, it's not just me this time. It's not just me, it was all of us, all 100 of us. Anyway, it was pretty good, but I feel like that's not what honed my English skill. What did that was I didn't go out a lot. I didn't have that many close friends. So what I did is I stayed at home and I watched a tons of TV shows and movies. So I've always liked English musics and stuff like that. But it was mostly TV shows that helps me to have the English that I do have today. I watch How I Met Your Mother, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Friends, and stuff like that. And the thing is, back then, Netflix was too expensive for me. So I have to pirate it. And the thing about pirating movies is that most of the time they don't have a subtitles. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So most of the time, I have to make do with what I have and make sense of what they're saying in my own head. And I feel like that really, really helped. And then moving on to high school, um, I went into Discord and I played a lot of online games because I have Discord friends. And all of my friends are from Canada, America, Europe, Australia. So we all need to speak English. So it was a really humbling experience for me because people always tell me that, oh, Johanna, you have a very like native speaker accent. And then I went to Discord and they're like, yeah, no, we can hear your Indonesian accent very, very well. So playing games with them, having online friends who spoke English and talking to them literally every day, and also TV shows is pretty much, I would say, what mostly helped me to have the English skill that I do have today, Mas Surya.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed a true example, a live example of the importance of input
So true. And output.
and output. Yes, another true example, watching movies a lot that makes her like this. So if you want to be like Miss Joanna, who can speak English like a native speaker, so do not hesitate to grab the what is no visitis nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
Just Netflix or whatever that you can enjoy and you can learn from. Yeah, just like the case with Miss Z. Miss Z also told the stories about similar. Her mentor asked her to watch movies one title or 20 times. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, Miss Yona, I think it's time for us to, don't you think?
Oh yeah, time flies, doesn't it? Look at us. Apparently we've reached the end of our event. I'm kind of sad. I always like this kind of English interactive event. We would like to give, of course, a huge thank you to Masuria for so ever generously sharing your time and knowledge with us. And of course, big shout out to all of you who tune in until the end or even until the middle to share your experience or be interactive or ask questions. It was very, very fun to see everyone's enthusiasm to interact and tries
Indeed.
out your skills, wasn't it, Masuria?
Yes.
So, Masuria, before we end, would you like to give a closing statement for our audience?
I'd love to, Miss. Yes, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, in order to be fluent, yeah, remember input and output, and they must be high. There must be a lot, high input and high output, and you'll be fluent.
Okay, thank you so much, Masuria. Remember, if it doesn't go in, it cannot come out. Don't forget to add more input and try to do more output, guys. And most importantly, from what we've seen from Masuria's material, we have to commit to it, be consistent. Even committing to a short, doable amount of time a day, even as background noises, can really help us to learn English. And remember to be mindful of being chronological and maybe providing points and such, yeah. As we see Masuria give advices to our friends here. And we can also try to imitate the speaker, which is actually my favorite, my favorite way to learn. So thank you so much, Masuria. Thank you so much,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Miss Joanna,
everyone.
for
Yes,
leading this talk very interestingly.
thank you. It was also an exceptional way of learning, Masuria. Before we leave, can we please take a pictures with our friends? Can everybody please turn on your camera so we can take a pictures for document? Ayo guys, kita on cam dulu nih, on cam, on cam. Show your pretty and handsome faces before we leave. Ooh, okay. People are starting to open their camera. We're gonna wait a little bit so that we can flex, we can all flex together our beautiful faces today in the Zoom meeting. Let's wait a little bit for everyone. Oh, also everyone, don't forget to fill in the G-form link. Don't forget to fill out the attendance form so to receive the special e-certificate from Sinergi Bicara and Komunitas Teman Bicara for our Zoom meeting today. The link are in the chat box below, and we will resend the link also in our Komunitas Teman Bicara group for everyone who missed it or cannot open the chat box. The certificate are going to be sent maximum D+5 or 5 days, 5 days after the class. Okay, let's see. So we already have a few people here who opened their camera. Does anybody else want to open their camera also?
Yeah, please, everyone. Show your beautiful and handsome face.
Maybe because it's late at night. Everyone already washed their face, opened their scarf, lay in bed, and they're like, oh no, not now.
That's all right.
That's all right. Yes, indeed. So it's okay. Let's try to take a picture. Everybody give your best poses, and we're gonna take 3 pictures today. So first one, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide, second slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So two more. Let's do this sign. Let's do a heart sign. It can be this, it can be this, it can be this, can be anything. Gonna do this. The forbidden K-pop idol Aegyo heart pose. Okay, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more. One more picture. Last picture. Let's again give our best poses. Can be anything. Bebas ya guys. Gaya bebas nih kita hari ini. 3, 2, 1. Aku mau gaya soalim dulu ya untuk yang terakhir. Dari tadi soalnya reputasinya kayaknya udah rada-rada kelam banget. Okay. Nah, next slide. 3, 2, 1. Oke, we took our picture. Terima kasih banyak Mas Surya. Again, terima kasih juga untuk semua teman-teman bicara ya hari ini. Kita ingin menginformasikan lagi nih untuk mengisi G-form agar e-certificate-nya akan dibagikan lewat email ya oleh tim Sinergi Bicara maksimal H+5 atau 5 days after the class. Setelah terkirim akan diinfokan kembali kok nanti di grup komunitas teman bicara oleh Kak Fani atau Kak Ardina. Terima kasih sekali lagi Mas Surya. Thank you so much for giving your insights
Miss
today.
Johanna.
It was very exceptional class. I really like it. We all really like it. Thank you. Terima kasih sekali lagi. Saya mewakili tim kelas Sinergi. Mohon maaf apabila ada kekurangan atau salah kata. Dan sampai jumpa di kelas Sinergi berikutnya. Saya Johanna, pamit undur diri. Good evening, guys. Selamat malam. Good night. Happy
Good
resting.
night.
Happy
Night.
resting.
Good night. Miss
Good
you all.
night.
Thank you, Mr. Surya, for including us. Bye. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Good night.